As experts look at numbers, they want homeowners to take a look in their backyards and get rid of any standing water that they may have. Neighbors are afraid that getting rid of 2 historic houses could create a domino effect in this Minneapolis neighborhood. Doctors have decided to leave the bullets inside of James because they say removing them will be too risky. Raul's hope is that he can turn a racist note that he received on campus into something positive. Well, this bridge is clearly marked, it still keeps happening. In the past month, at least 3 trucks have gotten stuck. It's a house filled with more than a century of history, but that history could soon be home to new development. The town of Little Falls is trying to move on, but people here say it's just not that easy. The Wild haven't just created excitement on the ice, but also in the ticket office where sales are taking off. A Bram Reserve police officer was rescued from his burning squad car. We'll talk to the Good Samaritan who saved his life. It was a loud crashing sound that caught the attention of 26-year-old Ryan Smith on Wednesday night as he looked outside his living room window and noticed a police car in the ditch and an SUV on its side. Without even thinking to put his shoes on, Ryan rushed to the scene. He looked over to see orange flames swirling out of the front of Bram Police Reserve Officer Dial's squad car.
I seen an SUV tipped on its side, and then I yelled and asked if everybody was all right.
Officer Dial was traveling southbound on County Road 107 near A Street Southwest in Bram when the SUV ran a stop sign and struck his squad car.
That's where I got hit, was right in the middle of the intersection.
Ryan was unable to find the fire extinguisher, so he told the officer to wrap his arm around Smith's neck. Bram Chief Police Officer Knowles said it didn't take long before the squad car was engulfed in flames.
By the time I got called, I had just arrived back in town from another event. I got down there before the fire trucks. The entire car was burning like a large bonfire.
With Ryan's help, both he and Officer Dial were able to escape the car before numerous pops of ammunition exploded throughout the vehicle. And the only thing they could do was watch the flames rapidly consume the squad car. As Ryan looks back at what's left of both vehicles, he still doesn't consider himself a hero.
They're very lucky people. Each vehicle, I guess, is very lucky to be here right now.
Officer Dial was taken to the hospital following the crash. He has no broken bones, but he's said to be pretty black and blue. As for the driver of the SUV and her 2 children, they're also recovering. But unfortunately, both the SUV and the squad car were totaled in the crash. It could be more than competition driving the Canby boys basketball team to win the state championship this year. For the first time in over 6 decades, the Lancers are making an appearance at state. After defeating 2 highly ranked teams, the boys believe the bright spirit of a special someone was with them the entire way, shining light on what was a dark start to their year.
A year ago right now, I got the worst phone call a parent could get. He said he had cancer.
It was a tragedy that struck hard on the small community, especially the boys' basketball team. Coach John Hansen was heartbroken when his son Jake, and Canby basketball legend himself, lost his battle with cancer. Jake, a 33-year-old husband and father of 3, wasn't only Coach Hansen's son, but his best friend.
I know he's watching, he's with us.
The entire community embraced Jake's family, and the boys on the team wanted to make this season a memorable one for their coach. The 2 team captains made it their mission to dedicate this season to Jake.
In my perspective, you need something to drive people in order to be where we're at. And I knew that God has a plan. You don't always know why or what happens for the reasons, but with Jake dying that summer, I kind of thought about it, and I told my dad, and he said, we'll wait till the season. And it was just something like, you know what, it's a model for us that, every day could be your last and every game could be.
Michael and the other captain brought up the idea, and I was all for it. I thought it was a very good idea.
Wearing a patch in remembrance of Jake on their jerseys, the team considers their chance at the state championship this year bittersweet. Canby is here to win it all, and if that happens, it'll be more than just a season tribute to Jake, but a state championship too. The support of a small town, a team's motivation, and most of all, a father's love keeps Jake's memory new in the Canby community.
Now, from Minnesota's most watched station, this is WCCO4 News Sunday morning.
Good morning, I'm Kelsey Herring. Here's your news update. He represented Minnesota's Iron Range for 18 terms. Today, friends are reflecting on the legacy of Jim Oberstar. He died unexpectedly last night in his sleep in his home in Maryland. Oberstar was the state's longest-serving congressional member. His career marked by his post as chairman of the House of Transportation, Infrastructure Committee. He was also known for cycling and was a big advocate for bike riders. Congresswoman Betty McCollum tearfully told us he mentored her when she got to Washington.
Kind, respectful, a person who really amplified what it meant to be a statesman. And he will be missed. He was my big brother.
Oberstar's friends tell us he was in exceptional health. His family says while they're mourning the loss of him, they're also celebrating his life and service to our country. Nursing home staff members say they're shocked after police say an 87-year-old man shot his wife, then turned the gun on himself. Police were called to the Crossroads Care Center in Worthington after someone heard 3 gunshots last night. They found Doris Dowse had been shot in the head. Her husband, George, had self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Her husband seemed very devoted to her and actually spent a lot of time with her. And so there was no reason for us to suspect that he was unhappy in any way. So it came as a total shock to all of us.
Doris had been living at the facility for about 2 weeks. Investigators are continuing to look into what led to this incident. An overnight chase ended when a minivan crashed into a popular St. Paul bar and restaurant. Check out the damage to the Bulldog on East 6th Street. State troopers say they were trying to pull over the van around midnight after a 911 caller said it was weaving in and out of the lanes in Newport. When the driver didn't stop, this is where the van eventually ended up. We know 6 people are hurt, 5 inside the bar and the driver. They will all be okay. Investigators are looking into whether alcohol or drugs were a factor. Well, the XL Energy box office was a busy place this morning with people hoping to get Wild playoff tickets. Single game tickets for all 3 potential home games went on sale at 10 this morning. Fans were given complimentary coffee and donuts. People lined up along the side of the arena with sleeping bags and lawn chairs, and some even stayed overnight.
7-hour wait was well worth it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Up at 3 a.m. to get down here.
We'll
Big
be here
game.
Friday night, and hopefully we'll be up 3 games, 2 games at that point.
We'll be cheering loud, go Wild. It's going to be a huge game 4, can't wait.
The home games of the series are Tuesday, Friday, and the following Tuesday if it goes to Game 6. Well, villains, consider yourself warned. Hundreds of superheroes are on the streets of Minneapolis this weekend. Fans are dressing up like their favorite comic book heroes this weekend for the Wizard World Comic-Con. It's at the Minneapolis Convention Center, and fans are going to get the chance to meet actors, get autographs, and buy memorabilia. Comic-Con runs through tomorrow at 5 p.m. Once again, I'm Kelsey Herring. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.